Hi, it's Brett from Metropole here. Well, is this continued media cycle of mixed messages leaving you feeling a little confused? Well, stand by. From the people that bought you articles about the 40% house drop, the JobKeeper and the mortgage cliffs, and the last one out of the cities turn the lights off comes the headline Reverse Migration as sea change and tree changes head back to the cities. I was forced to do a double take myself recently as I read that exact headline in the Financial Review. After all, it was a little less than 6 or 12 months ago I was reading the opposite headlines. People left the cities in droves. One must contemplate how the media seem to continually contradict one another, almost on a daily basis. Is it any wonder investors continue to be confused and continue to suffer from analysis paralysis? How do you move forward with certainty and direction in an environment of chaos that appears to be ever changing? Well, I guess the first thing I would recommend is understanding beware the minority trend. What I mean by that is media outlets and journalists cherry picking information to suit their agenda and to get your eyeballs on their screen or on their paper. The first majority trend we discussed was the fact that people were leaving our capital cities in droves to go to the regions, and it was just not happening. Statistics suggest there was a net loss of around 43,000 people that left our capital cities. Now that's not a huge amount when you consider the size of our capital cities, the populations. It's barely a blip on the radar. It's not going to influence any type of huge amount of data. But conversely to that, areas and locations in the regions that are receiving thousands or hundreds of people, it's probably going to make more of an effect. And that's what the data is probably being skewed to one direction. The other thing is it's a net loss. It's one-way traffic at the moment. What happened during lockdown, especially in the Melbournes and the Sydneys, why would you leave a regional area and have relative freedom and come to a capital city that was in lockdown? So it was really only one-way traffic, and I think that's really been represented in the media. The second thing to understand is if you are looking at this information more closely, they're only looking at one side of the equation. The article in question about people returning to the city states a growing group of people, again, a minority, that are returning to our cities, and they stated that tightening rental prices are being driven by these types of people. It's just not happening. In all reality, what has happened is now the borders have opened. Those people that were once coming in from the regions for work or lifestyle or employment and all those types of things are actually returning in droves to the cities as they were before lockdowns. So it's incredibly important to find out the devil in the detail, look at both sides of the argument and ignore the media. The way to do that is to actually have a long-term plan in place, understand exactly where you're heading. Dr. Stephen Covey always said, begin with the end in mind. It's a successful habit. And then actually reverse engineer and work backwards to find out where you are and where you need to be in a year or two. You need to accept that there's going to be financial downturns. There's going to be lockdowns and coronavirus and X factors. It's part of any environmental, financial or lifestyle cycle, and it's not going to change. You've got to accept that, prepare for that, but have a long-term plan in place to actually counteract that. That way you can invest with confidence, you can invest with certainty, you can block out the noise and reach your longer-term goals. Thanks for watching.